Hello everybody, welcome to Dialogues for Change. Life is not a void to be filled, it's a plenitude to be discovered. Today what I would like to share with you is some very beautiful thoughts on responsibility, taken from a collective book that was directed by Edith Ciseaux, which is called Responsibility and Cultures of the World, in which the notion of responsibility was highlighted from many different cultural perspectives. In this book there is one very beautiful contribution by Charles Royal and Betsan Martin, which approaches the idea of responsibility as responsibility. So let me share their insights with you. There are many ways to think about responsibility. Our emphasis falls upon responsiveness rather than a judicial approach and a burdensome sense of guilt. We would like to highlight two aspects that strike us as being important. These two aspects are implied in the words response and ability. Here we like to use the terms sympathetic resonance. The second term relates to action taking, which arises from and is inspired by sympathetic resonance in human relationships and relationships with the natural world. Such a quality of relating is akin to empathy. Music offers a helpful way of thinking about response. In music, a response is a musical phrase or melody that is sounded as an echo or as a confirmation of a preceding phrase or melody. For example, a response in a church liturgy is a phrase or a melody sung by an individual or a congregation as an elaboration or a confirmation of a preceding phrase. In this sense, response implies relationship, as responsibility does, in which correspondence, connection, and relevance is expressed. A further and deeper way of thinking about this relationship, which again comes from music, is sympathetic resonance. In this example, a musical instrument spontaneously sounds out or sings when another voice is heard. For example, when a person sings, a guitar string in the same room will sing out as well when the frequencies of the voice coincide with that of the guitar strings. Some musical instruments have auxiliary resonance strings. These thin strings are not played directly, but instead resonate along with the main strings of the instrument. The sound they make in spontaneous response is called sympathetic resonance. A key feature of sympathetic resonance is its spontaneous aspect. One voice inspires and elicits a spontaneous and sympathetic response from another. In human relationships, this idea suggests a subtle and sympathetic level of relationship. If we imagine two humans as musical instruments, the idea is that one individual resonates with another in spontaneous and sympathetic ways, not only in the quality of articulated and conscious communication between them, but also in the bodily and unplanned way they relate with one another. Here you can see that listening involves more than the use of the ears and the focused concentration of the mind. It is listening with all the senses, the body, the emotions, spirit, and so on. Ability relates to action taking, which is inspired by response or sympathetic resonance. Empathy elicits a response, and one acts in a particular way inspired by empathy. Ideally, action becomes an expression of sympathetic resonance. Response and action become one, a seamless flow from one to the other. We can say, therefore, that ability is response. A second aspect of ability relates to one's capacity to act. One has to have the means and resources to act. That is to say, one has to have the ability to act. In undertaking responsible action inspired through empathy and sympathetic resonance, one also has to have the means to take action. A key aspect of action taking is, again, relationship. Just as one experiences empathy and resonance through relationship, one has to take action through relationship. Highlighting sympathetic resonance in relationships serves to remind us of the deep level of correspondence that can exist in human relationships and between humans and the natural world. To a certain degree, there is an amount of unconscious connection between people. This is the idea that the nature of relationship between people is filled with unconscious connection and resonance as much as conscious intention. Our thinking about responsibility highlights this unconscious aspect, which can underpin and inspire conscious action taking. I hope these very beautiful and inspiring thoughts on responsibility also inspired you on this Tuesday, 20th December of 2011, and may challenge you to maybe also respond and become responsible. Thank you.